Good day, everyone. Welcome back to idontworkherelady subreddit with stories about folks that go into other businesses and have irate customers mistake them for employees. With no further ado, let's get orgasm with rKush. The first story of today's video was posted by Pizza Nerd 1. You're wearing an apron. I work as an assistant manager at a pizzeria, and my job is a little bit of everything. Yesterday, a paper towel dispenser wasn't working, and after a bit of checking, I found the batteries that powered it was dead. We didn't have any spares in the restaurant, so I took my motorcycle to my local grocery store down the road. I go in and swerve past all the people doing their dinner time shopping. After years of stopping at the store, many of the employees know me as the dude who works at the pizza place down the road. And today, I'm in full uniform, wearing jeans and a black shirt that has bits of flour on my shoulders. The logo of the pizza company is plastered on my chest as well as the middle of my red apron. I go to the location of the batteries, which is a counter between check stands 3 and 4, and begin looking for D batteries. Before I can reach out and grab my choice, I hear an ahem from behind me. I look around and see a white Karen. Karen. Excuse me, do you have any toilet paper? Me. I'm sorry I don't work here, but I think they're on aisle 12. Karen. Huffing. Well, are you going to take me there? Me. I'm so sorry, but I don't work here. As I grab my batteries. Karen. Don't lie to me. You're wearing an apron. Just then, a cashier who I know opened checks 4. I swerve past Karen and place my batteries on the conveyor belt. Cashier. Hey, pizza nerd. How's it going? Karen. Excuse me, I want to complain about this rude employee of yours. Points a finger at me. He won't show me where the toilet paper is. Me. Turning to Karen. Ma'am, I don't work here. Karen. Then why are you wearing an apron? Me. I point to the pizzeria logo on my apron. I work at pizzeria down the road. I don't work here. I just came here for batteries. Cashier. The batteries comes to $11.50. Me. I pay for the batteries and turn to Karen one last time. The toilet paper is on aisle 12. Have a nice day, and walk out. At the end of the night, I go back to the grocery store with a box of pepperoni pizza. I see cashier closing a register and we laugh as she tells me this is not the first time that particular Karen has mistaken the customer for an employee. I just don't get it, guys. Why do these people always think people are lying when they tell them they don't work there? What employee would do that? Moving on to the second story posted by Hoxie Luxie. I don't work here. My clothes are nowhere near correct. So about 10 years ago, my friend and I go into Best Buy so we can look at the TV he pre-ordered. I'm wearing a black Slayer t-shirt and some jeans. As he is waiting in line at customer service, I decide to wander around a bit. I'm looking at the fridges. I was bored and was just looking when a man in his mid-40s walks up and asks me if I can help him buy some stove. I look at him and politely tell him, "Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot help you, I don't work here." I go back to just looking at some freezers when I hear him cough loudly. "Hey boy, I say I need help. Do you want your commission or not?" I look up at him and said, "I don't work here, man," and I wave my hand around my shirt. At this point, he is super angry and says to me, "How about I go get a manager?" And I lost it because I've had it with this guy. I said, "Yeah, go grab him. Maybe he can help you because your head is so far up your butt my voice must be muffled. I don't work here. I'm not even remotely dressed as an employee, bro." So he leaves and I wander over to the gaming section when a burly man in a blue Best Buy shirt and that guy come walking over. Employee. Is everything okay over here? Guy. See, that's the guy. Not such a tough guy now since I got your boss, huh? Employee. Sir, I'm not his boss. He doesn't work here. He has a Slayer t-shirt on. That should have been a dead giveaway. Guy. But he looks like an employee. Employee. Nope. Not even close. Guy. Well, what are you going to do for me? Employee. How about this? I don't remove you from the store for harassing another customer and you can finish shopping without further trouble. Is that doing something for you? The guy glared at me for forever until Best Buy gave up and asked him to leave. Hey people, how blind is this guy? Who looks at the Best Buy uniform and thinks some random kid in a different colored t-shirt is wearing the same thing? And the funniest part is Best Buy doesn't pay commission to the employees. That's why they don't hound you like salespeople in other electronic stores. Our next Reddit post was from King's Ransom 79. Yes, this is my child. Heads up, this story is pretty tame but kinda racist. Cast. Me. My kids. An annoying lady. I was at a local playground with my kids. My youngest was about 18 months at the time. She was enjoying the swings while the others ran around. My daughter was very much into hugs and kisses at this age. She especially got a kick out of asking to kiss you, then blowing on your cheek to make a wet sound. We had done that a couple of times and then I went back to pushing her in the swing. It's also important to note that I'm black and my husband has a very light complexion and so do my children. Annoying lady. She's so cute. Me. Thanks. Annoying lady. She seems to love you. Me. I hope so. Looking confused. Annoying lady. Doesn't mother mind you being so affectionate with her? Me. I'm her mother. Annoying lady. Oh, I didn't. You don't look like her. Me. Well, she's all mine. Annoying lady. Is her dad white? Me. Nope. Annoying lady. But she has blue eyes. Me. Yeah, most black people have ancestors that were abused by white men, so we come in all colors. That was the end of her questions. Wow, this mom is savage. Managed to roast a lady through her own misconceptions. Great job. The annoying lady probably realized how racist her original assumption was and just dug herself in deeper, trying to prove that she didn't think the mom was a nanny because she was black. Moving on to the next story. I may know where everything is, but I'm not your employee. Posted by Timmy on Tools 14. A few years ago, I was in a large home improvement store. I had a regular shopping buggy as well as a lumber cart, both filled with materials for whatever remodeling job I was doing at the time. I did have an orange t-shirt that matched the aprons worn by employees but most definitely do not work there. As I was going down one of the aisles with both of my carts, an elderly gentleman stopped me asking if I worked there. I told him I didn't work there but would be happy to help him find whatever it was he needed. We walked a couple of aisles over, leaving my carts in the aisle where we met. As I was explaining the difference between two similar products, a female customer came up and was waiting to talk to me. She needed help deciding what kind of doorknob she needed for a storm door, which I gladly helped her pick out. I was finally able to get back to my carts to finish gathering supplies when an actual employee approached me. He said something along the line of, "Now that you're done helping customers, do you think you can get all this junk put back on the shelves?" I just laughed and said, "No, I'm good." The employee got red in the face and said, "You to put all this crap back or I'll call the manager." At this point, I realized that I was once again being mistaken for an employee, so said, "Go ahead and call him." The employee punched some numbers into his phone and started telling whoever picked up that the new guy has 2 carts full of random stuff in aisle X and is refusing to put it back on the shelves. The manager quickly came to the aisle we were in. I figured at this point, everyone could have a good laugh at the misunderstanding. I was wrong. The manager immediately started telling me, "You will take these items and put them back where they belong or you will be terminated." I tried it this time explaining that I don't work there but was further verbally abused by the manager, saying, "I saw you on the monitors wandering around the store, talking to customers when you should have been putting all this back where it belongs." At this point, I decided I was done with that particular store and just walked out, leaving about $4,000 worth of merchandise sitting in the 2 carts for someone to put away, while loudly telling the manager, "I don't work here." TLDR. Wore an orange shirt into a home improvement store. I was mistaken as an employee by 2 customers and 2 employees, one of which was a manager. The experience led me to leaving 2 carts full of stuff in the middle of an aisle. I would have went through the whole thing, been like, "Cool, screw you, fire me," especially if they are being a-hole. Walk with him to the office while he tries to find your stuff would have been gold. You think I don't have 3 hours to mess with you? Wrong. Moving on to the next story, posted by Rocky Chick. Lady tried to get me fired for not being an employee. For some backstory here, I'm trilingual, English, Spanish, and Chinese, and at the time I was working at the local store with a similar outfit, basic red polo and gray khakis. On my way back from work, I stopped by AutoZone to get some oil, spark plugs, and basic car maintenance stuff. While in there, I was looking at the spark plugs when some Asian lady, probably mid-50s, asked, "Do you guys carry this thing that you put on top of a gasket for Hondas?" I don't answer at first because I had one earbud in and I thought she was talking to the dude at the counter. She taps me on the shoulder and says, "Excuse me." So I tell her, "Oh sorry, do you need to get through?" She responds, "I asked you a question." I tried as calmly as I could to tell her, "I don't work here, ma'am." She goes on to complain that I have the red polo and I tell her, Go bother the person at the counter with your effing question. She walks away talking to herself in Chinese, saying, "That's one way to lose your job, you a-hole. Congratulations on being the next person in the unemployment line." She starts to complain to the guy at the counter and he tells her I don't work there. She replies with, "Yeah, well, she shouldn't anymore, thank you." I walk up to the register behind her and say to her in near perfect Chinese, "Excuse me, but I need to purchase these items with the money I made at work before coming here." Her face goes wide. You think she's Casper the effing ghost. I paid and left. This was a couple of years ago. Oh god. Never assume that someone doesn't understand your language. Rookie mistake, Karen. Now to our next Reddit post from Red Wall Rex. No, I really don't work here. So a few years back, I'm on my lunch break and I decided to pop to the local supermarket to get some lunch. Now I was in general office after and was prominently wearing my security pass for the company I work for, but nothing like the uniform and nothing about me would suggest I work there. Anyway, cue the following rather bizarre exchange as I walked past the checkout to the sandwich bit. Lady: "Excuse me, I've been given the wrong change. Can you go and get me the right money out of the till?" Me: "I'm sorry, but I don't work here." Lady: "Well, you got your name badge on. I need my change. Go and tell them they need to sort it for me." Me: "I can't. I don't work here. I'm just getting lunch." Lady: "Well, can't you sort this before your lunch break?" Now I don't like repeating myself and I don't get too long for lunch, so at this point, a bit annoyed, I just wanted my meal deal and go eat it, so I just silently shake my head and walk away. Lady: "Why are you ignoring me?" Me: "No, why are you ignoring me?" Lady: "Ignoring you?" Me: "Yes, twice I've told you I don't work here. You've ignored it both times." I was getting a bit flustered at this point. Lady: "So you don't work here?" Me: "No." Lady: "So why am I talking to you then?" She then wandered off to find someone else to bother whilst I went and got some lunch. Was just a very bizarre exchange. "So why am I talking to you then?" Woman, you started this bizarre conversation. Jesus Christ. Now to the last story of today's video posted by CareerLotoMetarat0. It's morphine time. This happened a while back, about 6 months. If the girl this story is about has posted this somewhere, I apologize because I looked around and could not find it. It's her story. While in the box chain with my wife, I head over to the electronics sections to browse around and wait out her husband's slow death of "I just need a few things." There is a girl there that I'm guessing is in high school since she had a high school sweatshirt on, the same color as the box store's colors. She's looking at cell phone cases when a middle-aged man walks up to her and asks her to get the key to a display case for Xbox or PlayStation something. I was not paying attention to either of them until I hear their "excuse me." This girl is 5 foot nothing in a sweatshirt and jeans. The guy is close to 6 feet and dressed in business casual and is very confident in himself. He doesn't even suspect how outmatched he is with this kid. She says, "I don't work here." And the self-important male Karen starts. I am not going to get the dialogue between them exactly right since I have nowhere near Hero Girl's ability to think on my feet as she did. Plus, it went on for a couple of minutes and would be forever on this post. Male Karen: "Then why are you behind the counter?" Hero Girl: "I am not behind the counter." Male Karen: "You are by the counter straightening inventory, so you better help me or I will get your manager." I cannot remember this part without hearing "it's morphine time" in my head. I start to go over to help the kid out, but there was no need. Hero Girl turns to face male Karen. "I'm looking for a specific case for my iPhone, whatever number, so are you going to help me or not?" Male Karen: "Wait, what? I don't work here." Hero Girl: "Neither do I." I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but he would demand something of her and then she would demand something from him and it would end the same way every time. Male Karen: "I don't work here." Hero Girl: "Neither do I." This went on for a couple of minutes and Hero Girl pulled out all the stops. He would say something and she would come back with a sick grandbaby, son lost his job, dad was dying of cancer, mom was in accident, daughter getting married. She had to have 5 parents and 10 kids and the whole time, this guy just kept going. They threatened to have each other fired so many times it was head spinning. As he got mad and moved closer to her, she would say, 6 feet or I will tell your manager you are violating your store's distancing policy. He would back up a little and say, "I don't work here." Neither do I. That happened twice. The woman that was working electronics came out and asked what the problem was, and they both tried to have each other fired. She tried to say neither of them worked there and finally said, I don't get paid enough for this stuff, and left them to it. A woman with a small child bumped into me from behind and then started watching with me. The child tugged on her arm to go and she said, Hush, baby, I'm watching this. That made us both chuckle. A manager came up behind us and looked at the scene and said, Really? He finally tries to intervene but can't get a word in edgewise. It ends finally with both of them saying at the same time, I don't work here. Neither do I. Think, Abbott, and Costello. Who's on first? The male Karen looks at the girl, then the manager, then the girl, then the manager. The manager finally says, Out of the three of us, I'm the only one that works here. Now, how can I help you? Hero girl. Where are the iPhone, whatever number, cases? The manager points to an aisle and Hero girl says pleasantly, Thank you. She bounces over to the aisle without a care in the world. The manager turns to male Karen. And you, sir? He stammers for a minute and finally, sheepishly explains what he needs. The woman that bumped into me says, Better than anything I've seen all week on Netflix. Me, I rush to find my wife and tell her what happened. So when you hear the excuse me, say something like, There you are, where's the ketchup? Works like a charm. Finally, if Hero Girl read this, either make a post of what you said or post it in the comments. You were brilliant. Guys, I love this story. My favorite part was the 6 feet I will tell your manager you are violating your store's distancing policy. Great way to keep him back and assert her dominance. She handled that like a pro. Great job, little girl. And that brings me to the end of our video today. Hope you reach your eargasm with rKush. Good day, everyone.